Good morning. We're back in Pennsylvania, getting ready to start sections 6, 7, and 8 of the Tuscarora, starting out with a road walk and get into the trail. I think it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles in. So we'll get started, show you what we can along the way. So we're still on this road walk. Just went past a lot of farmland. It still smells really bad up through here. There, at a couple places, the smell of manure was strong enough to take your breath away. But I think we're finally moving out of it and up towards the place where the trail actually goes back into the woods and out of the residential and farming areas. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we're just walking up this old logging road. It's been a pretty gentle climb up the mountain, not bad at all. More of a slow burn, which is a very welcome change from the last couple of sections when we've done our climbs. Those climbs have been real butt kickers, so this is a welcome change. Figured I would stop for a second. There's a little peek of a view through the top of the ledge here, and then just film a little bit of the trail as I walk up through here. There has been absolutely zero maintenance done to the trail through this section, and lots of rocks, and then all of the overgrowth really slows down the progress. Ow, ow, ow. Going through thorns. Yeah, that's why I stopped on back there, so you could peek a view through. Here, take the camera and swing it around for while I climb down off the ledge. about 11 o'clock and we've made it about 6 miles in. We're stopping for lunch. Our plan today is to hike just a little over 13 miles to a campsite that happens to have water. So far, we spent what, about 2.5, 3 miles on road walking?
Yeah, it was about 3 miles road walking.
Which of course was easy. Some uphill at the end, but it was all, you know, well groomed on the road. And then once we got up into the mountains, it's been rocky and just really, really overgrown. There's been essentially no trail maintenance up here. Even the blazes are really, really faded. A while back, they changed all of the Tuscarora blazes in Pennsylvania from orange to the blue that is the standard for the entire Tuscarora Trail now. And I don't think they've been repainted since then. Some of the blazes are still orange. And a lot of the blue blazes, they're so faded you can't even see them. So trying to find your way through the trail when it's already really overgrown. Mishap has jerky. I brought some of these Duke's hot and spicy sausages. I absolutely love these things. We're both hoping the blazing is going to get a little better from here on. About 1/10 of a mile back, all of a sudden the blazing started improving. take a walk up to Bird Run Shelter. We're not staying there tonight. I just want to take a look at it. Bit of an uphill climb to it. Not too bad. Small. Can't fit a lot of people in here, but you could probably fit 3 or 4. This is the Oswick Creek. Nice little bench here at the end. So it is about 6 o'clock in the evening. We have already set up camp, made dinner, filtered water. What else did we do? I got a little bath, little bird bath. We stretched. I rolled out my feet and my legs with the little cork ball. I'm just laying in here relaxing now, charging the phones. We're just at a little stealth site alongside the trail here. Has a spring just a couple 100 feet down the trail. So pretty nice little spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just gonna lay here and relax and probably fall asleep. He's already been falling asleep, but I keep waking him up. Alright, good night everybody.
Good night.
Good morning. It is day 7 now. We just got up. It is what time in the morning? I don't even know.
6:17.
6:17. Had breakfast, broke camp. We camped back this way about 100 yards behind Mishap. And trail register right here. We just logged in. So we have probably about a 14 and a half mile day today. And we're going to get to it. We're at Cowan's State Park, Cowan's Gap State Park maybe, I think is what it's called. Mishap's taking advantage of the facilities, which are open. So I guess you can get water from in there if you need it. We got water back at the spring. They have another little water thing here by the picnic table, but they have it shut off for whatever reason. We got excited for a minute because there's a Coke machine. However, there's an out of order sign on it. So we are coming out of the Cowan's Gap State Park. That was a really nice park, really nice. There's of course the lake there that they've dammed up, and you can swim and tent there. There's campground there. The bathroom facilities where we stopped have showers right there. If we wanted, we could have stopped and got a shower. We did make use of the facilities and were able to drop off all our trash, which was very convenient. So now we're on this trail heading up the mountain. And this is probably the nicest mountain climb we've had on the Tuscarora.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the trail behind me, but it's covered in moss and nicely graded, switchbacking our way up the mountain. So very nice. Beautiful morning. Weather's supposed to be 70 today. I think there might be a chance of rain this evening, but hopefully that'll be after we get to shelter. Our goal today is the Reese Hollow Shelter. So we made it to the summit of the mountain, and we stopped at the Thru peak going back there, and the view wasn't quite as good, but the view through here is really nice. It goes on for way out through there and just hazy. Fades into the distance. It's pretty. We're standing on a great big rock field. Walking along this ridge line, and came out of the rocks a little ways back and just walked straight into this little open clearing, just this tiny meadow. And from there, it's been nothing but this grassy trail through the woods. And the forest is so dense you can't see through on either side. You can't even tell that you're at an elevation. When we first got out through here, I told John it looked like we were hiking in Florida, because we were just walking through grass on a wide trail. The only trees right through there was a couple of really tall dead ones. It's exactly what hiking through Florida looks like when you're hiking through the center section anyhow. We're about 50 yards out. She let us get awful close. Side route off to the Big Mountain Shelter. It's the last place to get water until we get to, I guess, the next shelter, from what I'm reading in the trail book. So we gotta figure out where the water's at here. I have a pretty. Take a quick look at the shelter itself while we're here. Probably sign the register. The shelter looks brand new. The floor is like super smooth, like they used hardwood flooring out of somebody's, like a reclaimed hardwood flooring. Somebody left some toilet paper in there. Logbook. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Cute. Alright, we'll sign it. We're headed towards the Reese Hollow Shelter. We have another 9.3 miles to go, and another 175 miles to finish the trail. And so far we've hiked 72 miles of it. So we're at the summit of Big Mountain. There's as you can see, a parking lot. You can drive right up here. There's some camping areas up here. There's a heck of an overlook. It's just gorgeous. So, lunchtime. Gonna have spam singles and some mozzarella sticks. So we thought we were going to be on a road walk. When we got down to the road here, we crossed the road on those steps that we showed you earlier. And instead we're walking right alongside the road. The road's running right here. And I have to say, it's a particularly unpleasant part of the trail. Not only are you on a very narrow, uneven, rocky trail that's completely overridden with mainly raspberry bushes are the worst of it. All of the thorns. It's covered in litter, and you just constantly get the road noise. I mean, it's like maybe one hair above actually doing a road walk with a narrow shoulder. At least I don't have to worry about getting struck by traffic, but the trail itself, nah. Can't wait to get back to the woods. We made it partway up this road trail. Stopped underneath the power lines for a really nice view. These are apparently hang gliding launch ramps. Hi, so we're sitting at the top of this ridge, getting ready to head down. Behind us there's a trail that takes us, it's a mile down off of the Tuscarora. It doesn't even count towards our Tuscarora miles, but takes us down to the Reese Hollow Shelter. And I mean, you don't really have any other choice but to do it. It's the only water in this whole section from where we stopped and got water back at that last shelter. And that was over 10 miles ago now. And there's like another 5 or 6 miles the other way before you find water again. So we're taking our way down there. Hopefully nobody's there and we can set up in the shelter. Otherwise, I guess we'll be pitching a tent. But more importantly, we'll have water, because this is all that's left.
I'm out.
All right, so this is Reese Hollow Shelter. We looked out and the whole thing is empty, and we'll have it all to ourselves tonight. There's a privy out back. It's a pretty nice shelter. Have a picnic table. You'll see we've already had a full gear explosion. One of the larger shelters I've seen for the Tuscarora. It says springs this way. We came in down this little trail here, and I mean, you cross the spring on your way in about 100, maybe only 50 yards that way. So we stopped and filled up water as we crossed, and then we have a little campfire going. We ran out of fuel last night, so we're heating our water with fire tonight. So dinner tonight is a garlic and mushroom chicken ramen. Smells delicious. How is it?
It's great.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I'm about to eat.
It's ready for bed.
Yeah, it's a good shelter. We really like the shelter. We just wish it wasn't so far off trail. That mile off is a pretty big fight to have to take. But you're not going to find water up on the ridge lines, so that's why it's down here. Thank you to the PATC for building this very nice shelter. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning. It is the morning of Sunday, May 16th. This is our 8th day on trail, and we just hiked a mile down from, or back up from the Reach Hollow shelter. We're at the top of the ridge line. And according to the sign here behind us, we have 10.2 miles to get to Fort Davis Road, which is where we parked the truck. So there's, I think, no water between here and there. I think there's water down near where the truck is, so it's going to be collecting there. We have water in the truck. So we have collected plenty of water from down at the shelter, and it's just a ridge walk all the way out and then a steep descent down to the truck. So that's our plan for the day. Alright, so we're on our way. A little bit about the shelter last night. Of course, you have that steep climb down into the gap to get to it and then back up. But the shelter is really nice. But a lot of bees there. The first part of the evening while we were getting our dinner and everything together, a lot of those, I think they're called wood hornets. They're great big, a little bigger than a bumblebee, kept coming around. And then this morning while we were getting our breakfast together, we had one very disgruntled hornet that did not appreciate our lights before sunrise, that kept trying to take us out. But whippoorwills all night long, and I absolutely love that. Love listening to the whippoorwills. So even this morning while we were getting breakfast together, they were serenading us. So really enjoyed that shelter. It's only our, second shelter we've actually slept in.
Yeah.
And I can see why people say that it's kind of harder to sleep in the shelter though. Ground just feels harder underneath of you. We both didn't sleep particularly well last night. Even with your pad, it's hard to get comfortable. So looking forward to a nice hotel bed tonight. All right, get back with you. This is the first snake that we found on trail. It's a timber rattler. He had, I believe, 9 rattles plus a button. He's not real big, but he is lying directly in our path. We have to skirt out to the left and around to get around him. Well, here, it's just a rocky ridge line. Rocks on both sides of us. And it's a a little better blaze right here in this section. There's been some sections where you can't see a blaze at all, and kind of meandered off course a couple times, but nothing too terrible. We're almost back to the truck now. Steep descent here at the end. Finally saw our first set of other hikers today. We haven't seen anybody all day. They were heading up the trail. And that top ridge was quite rocky. It wasn't an easy last 2 or 3 miles at all.
We didn't do a lot of filming because it's been looking like rain, and we've been trying to move a little faster to beat it.
Yeah. A couple little sprinkles here and there on us along the way, but so far it hasn't just bust out a full rainstorm. But it was really windy up on top of the ridge, and of course we had a pink sky this morning, so we knew that rain was pretty high potential today. So we're back to the hotel now. We didn't do a finishing video at the truck. It had just started to rain as we were getting back to the truck. And I know I was pretty well exhausted. I don't know how Mishap felt. He got back a little bit before I did. He got off the mountain faster. But total of 12 miles today. And what was the total mileage for the whole trip? We didn't even calculate that up.
It was supposed to be 39, but then we had to add in.
Total of 2 miles to the shelter we stayed at last night.
And then I think it was either 0.2 or 0.4 to the other shelter to get water.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 0.2, so a total of 0.4.
0.4.
Plus, I mean, we had a bunch of out and backs as we do our footage for the trail as well. So we end up adding some extra miles on because of that as well. But definitely some of our biggest miles we've done so far. And I can't wait to go get in the hot tub here at the hotel. We stopped at a local Mexican restaurant and devoured some food. It was so good. Mm-hmm. And then stopped at Aldi's and got a bunch of candy. So we're living it up tonight at the hotel. Recap for the whole trip. The first section, which was section 6, was kind of rocky, but not much. Nothing compared to sections 1 and 2. But it was poorly maintained. The maintenance on the trail was not that good. It was just really overgrown. And
a lot of road walks.
Yeah, and then, well, not a lot, just in the beginning. You had a long,
it was
3 mile. And then the second section we did, section 7, that wasn't bad. We cruised. We cruised right through it. It was good. And then we hit section 8, and the very beginning of it, right as you're leaving the shelter there, was okay. And then it kind of went downhill from there. Maintenance started just completely disappearing. Very, very overgrown, very rocky. I ended up twisting my ankle a couple of times there about midway through because, I mean, the grass was knee high. You couldn't see underneath. You couldn't see your footing. And then you just had rocks jutting up everywhere. So I kind of twisted my right ankle up a good bit, and that slowed us down for that last section, where we probably could have got out a little faster. But that particular portion of the trail in general needs some work with the blazes. The blazing's not very good, and then it's overgrown, so you can't physically see the trail. You can't just look ahead and see a trail in front of you. So you really rely on the blazes, and the blazes are either very, very faded or they're just not there at all. So that definitely needs some maintenance work, which we are PATC members, and I read the newsletter that they're sending out, so I see that they have needs for maintainers in that section. They just don't have any right now, and with COVID, it's been difficult for them to get out anyhow. So they're starting to loosen up the restrictions with COVID right now. So hopefully they'll be able to get some maintenance done coming soon. So all in all, I think we had a really good trip overall, though. I mean, we pushed ourselves, got bigger miles than what we've done in the past, and really, I think, kind of grew as hikers because of it. So I'm excited for the next section, but I do know it's a lot of road walk, and then part of it's the C&O Canal, which is almost road walking type of scenario. I mean, we're not going to even be able to camp like in the woods or anything. We're going to have to hit one of the campgrounds that are there along the way, most likely. So stay tuned till then. Thanks for coming along.